Because political service is in the genre of public service, we propose a whole-of-government, people-up approach that benchmarks ministerial salary to MP allowance, which is in turn pegged to the pay of the civil service, benchmarked to the general wage levels. The Cabinet is not an extension of the private sector. Political service is in the nature of public service. We believe that MP allowance should be set with reference to the salary of senior executives in the regular civil service. The starting salary of entry-grade senior civil servants in the regular civil service, a director of MX9 grade in the management executive scheme of the civil service outside the admin service, is approximately $11,000 a month. In our proposal, MP allowance would be about $11,000 per month.
I think that there are a couple of questions here. I would also ask Mr. Giam whether he accepts that MX9 does not represent the general wage level of Singaporeans, as claimed. We have now all agreed that we do competitive benchmarking against the market. The committee's recommendation proposes that. The Workers' Party's recommendation, in essence, proposes that too, because the MX9, and in fact all civil service salaries, are benchmarked against the closest comparables that we can find in the market. But does Mr. Giam accept that the MX9 superscale grade doesn't represent the civil service at large and the general wage levels of Singaporeans?
Mr. Giam.
Speaker, the MX9 formula is something that I thank you for explaining about the MX9 formula. That is not something that we had privy to, the exact formula for MX9, but so I have no choice but to accept that the formula that DPM has proposed, that DPM has revealed in this House regarding what the MX9 is pegged to. I have no choice but to accept, because I do not know what I'm not privy to what the MX9 formula is, but we are under that understanding that it was more in line with general wage levels than it is to the top 1,000 Singaporean earners.
A bit perturbed by what Mr. Giam has just revealed. First of all, he revealed that he really didn't know what the MX9 superscale grade was, but then he's based his entire system and proposition on this. And he still hasn't answered the question that I asked him, whether he believes that the MX9 superscale salary grade is representative of the whole civil service and of the general wage level in Singapore, and therefore appropriate for use as a whole of government people-up benchmark as proposed.
Principle why we took MX9 was because we felt that that would be more representative of the majority of Singaporeans rather than the top 1,000. And that is the reason why we are...
The question I have is a very simple one. Now that Mr. Giam knows what the MX9 superscale is, does he believe that this is representative of the general wage level in Singapore?
I don't think any salary formula can be representative of everybody in Singapore, but I feel that it's closer to what the general wage levels are than what the top 1,000 is. And it's impossible for me to have known that the MX9 itself is pegged to the senior management level of a certain grade. In fact, DPM has not even revealed what is that level that is being pegged to.
So I must take it, therefore, that the answer, that Mr. Giam's answer is no. He did not know what the MX9 superscale salary represents, but nevertheless used it as the benchmark for the Workers' Party's proposals. And that too, he agrees with me that the MX9 does not represent the general wage level of Singaporeans.
I think DPM has tried to press me on the fact of whether I agree with him on whether it is pegged to the general wage levels. I've already said in my first reply that I have to accept that it's what DPM said, that if it's not pegged to the general wage levels, I have to accept that. The point I was trying to make is that it is more in line with the reason why we came up with the MX9 level was because we felt that that was the general amount that would be more representative of the majority of Singaporeans. And obviously, it's not the median wage level, but it's more representative of the majority of Singaporeans.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this conversation is very, very telling. You have based, the Honourable Member has based the entire system on an MX9, which we made a big song and dance about, without understanding what it is, making assumptions. As with the earlier point about assuming that MP's allowance is a quantum of admin service pay when it was not. And I think it reveals the thoroughness in which certain members are approaching making policies which would have an impact on Singapore.